So let me, we probably could get started here. I don't see anybody waiting yet, but I just have to play a little ditty, you know.
I remember that song. How about It's Raining Men?
It's like Groundhog Day. I'm going to play this damn rain music until it rains.
Play It's Raining Men.
Oh my God. That is the best song. Hallelujah. Oh, Leanna, you have got a sense of humor, woman. All right, that's it for next week. It better start raining. Good morning, everybody. I'm going to start the meeting.
By breaking something.
So, oh my gosh, it's December 9th. And I am going to actually open the meeting with the inspiration today. Sean Shields was going to be the person delivering the craft talk, but he is just recovering from a little hospital visit. So I thought I would jump in. But because the fact this is Disease Prevention and Treatment Month for Rotary International, I just thought, wow, how exciting that we have our first COVID vaccinations occurring yesterday. So that inspires me. But I also have something from Michael J. Fox. And as you all know, he is a Parkinson's disease patient. And he just recently wrote a book. And his quote is, "You can be a realist and optimist at the same time. It's about accepting and surrendering. When you accept it, you start to see the other things in your life that you're grateful for. You start with things you are grateful for, and gratitude will feed your optimism." So I just thought that was really pertinent for us in this terrible siege we've been under. So, but there is hope. Anyway, good morning, everybody. And welcome to Ryan. You are already getting right into the swing of things with our Rotarians. I love the talking. I didn't want to start the meeting too soon because everybody was enjoying chatting with you.
I didn't know you were there ghosting us. I wouldn't have taken the lead.
No, it's wonderful. So I don't see any other visiting Rotarians or other guests. So we will get started. Dr. Pyle, who also had a little stint in the hospital today. How are you feeling? You're on mute. Doug, can you unmute yourself?
Going to do that right now. I'm unmuted. Well, yes, I came out fine. I came out a toe shorter, not a foot shorter.
Your foot up?
I had an infection in my big toe, and they had to take the two phalanges off, which are the two end pieces of the bone here. So that's healing up fine.
Oh.
Hopefully I'll be back on my feet full time in another 2 or 3 weeks.
Okay, well, is your foot up right now?
Of course not. I can't recline to go to a Rotary meeting.
You should be in bed.
Maybe I will. Let me see if it works.
We will forgive you. Being in a prone position.
Oh, geez. Okay, now my foot's up.
Okay.
It looks good.
I can't reach my coffee.
So, you know, Andy, you're you're in a fun, you guys ever see those commercials? It's an insurance commercial and the guy is all dark because he's in witness protection program. And he jumps over the Brooklyn Bridge or something. It looks like Andy's in the witness protection program right now.
And he's violating all the rules of Zoom lighting.
Ah, okay.
We're having some work done in our house, so I'm going to find a spot wherever I can.
Well, we know that you're there. So Doug, actually, I just wanted to know if you could give us an update on what we're supposed to be doing this Saturday to get the presents over to the Boys and Girls Club.
Yes, I got an email and let me see if I can find it here. That we are supposed to bring them at a certain time to the Boys and Girls Club because they anticipate a lot of people driving by to drop these off. It's going to be much like our July 4th and Halloween, where nobody gets out of the car. They come out and take the gift bags from our cars. And let me see if I can find that email.
While you're doing that, I know that people have been dropping their gifts off at Costo Bakery. And so that's where it stands. And then I think I'm going to go over there and haul them over to the Boys and Girls Club. Was that the last that we discussed?
Yeah, I will get, if you're going to do that, I will get you the specific time that they want us to bring them by. It's in an email someplace, but I'll look it up and let you know if you're going to pick up all the bags.
Okay.
Thanks.
Nancy, if
Yeah.
you need any help, I can help you.
Oh, that'd be great. I have a little pickup truck. If it's not raining, we can throw it in there, or I can throw it in my CRV. But yeah, I probably could use some help. But everybody is on track to get their gifts over to Costo by this Saturday. Is that right?
Yeah, they're open Wednesday through Sunday, I believe.
Oh, okay, good.
So
And I've got all the yellow teams. So is everybody else under control?
Blue team is under control, and the drop-off time at the Boys and Girls Club is old school calendar, 9:30 to noon on Saturday.
no, I'll give you a more specific time. I got an email a couple of days ago that had when we are supposed to bring our gifts by. And I'll let
Gotcha.
Nancy and Dan know that time.
Okay.
Yeah, and I know that Dan has the gifts for his team. He's bought them and is planning to wrap them up today and get them to wherever they need to go.
Okay, great. I'm
Presto.
so proud of all of you for jumping in here to get this done. Okay, well, good. Anything else on that? I think everybody's been through the ringer from me on this. The downtown lighting project, I don't think Will is here, but I know the installations are up. Has anyone gone downtown to look at it yet? Nobody? Okay, well, it should be beautiful. I've driven by and I think Friday night I'm going to go take a walk through there. I feel kind of guilty because we're getting great press. I don't know if you saw the Tribune had kind of gave us credit for this whole thing. And all we've done is, all Terry has done is write checks. So I'll take whatever free publicity we can get. Back in August, Will Seppi asked if anyone was interested in volunteering at the Chronicle wine tasting in Cloverdale in January. And I don't know if anyone has volunteered for that. Right now they have all the volunteers they need, but there's always a wait list that they need to add to build because people drop out at the last minute. So if you're interested in volunteering at that event, you could walk away with wine, but a lot of it's being helping set up the event. And I was in the wine industry for 20 years, and I never once attended one of these things. So it should be pretty interesting.
What is the date, Nancy?
I think it's January 4th or 5th, and I can send you I have information on it.
Is that a weekend day?
I think so.
Okay.
So
All right.
I'll dig it up and send the information out, but it's the San Francisco Chronicle wine tasting. Okay. Let's see here. Oh, okay. So Colleen is not on this call. Is that correct? All right. I've been chipping away at getting the signatures for her book, and I'm around all week. If anyone is going to be in town and you want me to meet you somewhere, let me know.
I'll be down in Healdsburg tomorrow if you're home.
Okay. Yes, just text me and let me know what your timing is, and I'll work to be here for you, Leanne.
Thank you.
Yeah, anyway, let me know. Lance, what are we going to do about you?
You're muted. I'm going to be in town later this morning, so I was actually just making a note to try to ping you maybe 10:30 or 11.
I will be here. I am like the Santa's elf sewing a dress for my granddaughter, and it's like a sweatshop upstairs. So I'm not leaving till I'm done. So I'll see you later with masks.
You got 20 days or 15 days.
No, actually, we have till next Tuesday because this gift. The dress. Yes.
Don't worry.
It's just crazy. All right, Diane Bucher. Diane has a couple of projects going on right now.
I do. Would it be possible to share my screen? If somebody's working on that. Here we go. Sorry, that is a lot of stuff. Okay, we'll do this one first because it's up first. My little wine brand is being very optimistic about the month of December, and we have joined a new tasting room in the Barlow Center in Sebastopol. And on Thursday, December 17th, we are having a Polio Plus Rotary fundraising night. And for everyone who attends and purchases one of our flights, we will donate $10 to Polio Plus. So I heard Jack earlier speaking about eradication of polio, and we had a really moving speaker last week kind of go over it, and these are just kind of some of the 5 highlights or lowlights of polio, that it mostly affects children under 5. As of now, there's no cure, but with a vaccine, it is completely preventable. Only 2 countries remain endemic, and as Lance said, those are Pakistan and Afghanistan. And with the help of a lot of people, a lot of Rotarians, a lot of folks around the world, Bill Gates, we've reduced cases by 99%, and it will be with us until we eradicate it. It will be with us forever. So I can get you more information on joining us that evening if you would like. Okay, and since that's the first one that popped up, we did that first. Second one is that Sonoma County Library is asking, as we know, at all times, seniors that live in adult community centers and other rehabilitation facilities are often kind of lonely during the holidays, and this year of COVID has made it much worse. So they're asking that we send our seniors mail. So I've put this link from the Sonoma Library into the chat, and Lance, if you can get that into the meeting minutes, there's a link on here, and it shows you how you, these are the addresses of what where to send cards. So it's pretty easy if you have a couple extra holiday cards laying around. Just they want it handwritten or handwritten if you could, not coming from a computer. And there's some other things that they're requesting. But if anyone's interested in that, it's just a nice way to help out some of the other folks in our community.
Can you
So-
email that information out to us?
Sure, happy to. I can do that too. I'll do it through Club Runner. So whatever email address you all put into Club Runner, that's where you're going to see it. Okay.
I also got an email from the library, the Sonoma County Library, that promoted this. So I'm thinking also if you go on the website.
That is true. This is the email that was received from Sonoma County Library. So maybe I can just forward this on. I don't know if I can get a list of everyone out of Club Runner and just cut and paste it in, because that's the one from Sonoma County. But I'll work on it. And you guys will see it later this morning.
Thank you, Diane.
Welcome.
So I am going to be gone on the 17th. Otherwise, I would definitely go to the Barlow and do the flight. But the Barlow is really a great place. If you guys haven't been, it's quite exciting. And I bet you it's very holiday spirited right now, kind of like me.
It's festive. We have a big patio and 2 huge tents, and they're heated and they're outdoors, and we are really optimistic about being there on December 17th.
Yeah, we're hoping we're not all shut down, right?
Yes, exactly. We're just plowing through.
So speaking of shutting down, the Noon Club is having their crab feast virtually this weekend. I mean, how sad. The Ryan, for your benefit, our sister club, the Rotary Club of Healdsburg, has been having a crab feast for over 40 years. Somebody needs to mute their computer. They're typing away. Anyway, we usually go to the I know, hands-free. Who's typing? Oh, that's so funny. I love Zoom. Anyway, the crab feast. It is a big party every December. And this year, to try to raise funds, they're having crab cakes being sold by Dan Lucia. And then they have an online auction right now. And I think I sent everybody the email about the auction. So if you can just look at it, try to help our brothers and sisters in the Noon Club, I would really appreciate it. They would really appreciate it. They've been really supportive of our projects. Moving on, Sean was going to do the craft talk. I told you he is not going to do it, but next week, Dr. Pyle, if you are up for a craft talk next week, I have you on the list. So just giving you a heads up, and you have the option of opting out, but I just wanted to give you a heads up. So I wanted to do some recognitions because we're kind of behind in many of them. And first of all, Lance, you have turkeys in your trees. What's up with that?
Well, they were finally back. We used to have turkeys roosting in the fir trees near our pool almost every night. And after the Tubbs fire, we had to cut down many of them. And apparently the turkeys did not like the new configuration, so they went elsewhere. So this was the first time since 2017 that I'd seen a group of them fly up and roost in the trees. So hopefully they're not holding a grudge against us for cutting down those trees.
Is this like the swallows at San Juan Capistrano that returned to the perch on the hill?
Much bigger and less graceful, but yeah, something like that.
Are they good neighbors? I don't know if I'd want a turkey outside my window.
You know, they're pretty cute. They're attractive birds. They poop big. So there's that. But since we named our wine Turkey Roost because of the turkeys roosting in those trees, I was kind of bummed when they stopped doing so.
You have a vested interest in keeping them around. Yeah.
Exactly.
You know, do you have a vintage in the cellar of Turkey Roost?
We do. We've been making wine every year since 2014. We got our grapes in this year. What was it? Day 2 of the lightning complex. So there was no smoke around in our neck of the woods when the harvest came in. So yeah, we have the 2020 perking away in the lower garage.
And what's the varietal?
It's all Pinot Noir. So
Oh,
it's a
Pinot
mixture
Noir.
of 115 and 667. We sell most of the grapes to Thumbprint and to Ramey.
Oh, wow. Okay. Because that should probably go in our farm store auction lot when we get ready to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. We just trying to remember. I saw there was some debate about what the legality of non-commercial wine in auctions is. There's some rules you need to make sure you follow. But yeah, happy to donate.
Rules. Forget about it. So Diane is going to be hosting the Pinot Noir tasting for the club in the spring, and we probably need to get a bottle of your wine in there as a ringer.
Totally.
Okay. I'm not going to fine you for your turkeys. I just wanted to find out about them. Now, in addition to Diane doing the Polio Plus tasting tonight, and I think Friday night, is that right? 2 nights at the Dry Creek Kitchen, Charlie Palmer's famous Dry Creek Kitchen. Diane and John Bucher are called the makers, the winemakers, and they're being featured at Dry Creek Kitchen. So I know
For
I've
the
got
whole, for the whole month of December. So with 2020 being as shut down as it could be, we were pretty excited about December because we have a week at Region at the Barlow and a week, the whole month at the Dry Creek Kitchen. And then now we'll see if we get through the month with social events and going out to restaurants and wine bars. So.
well, and typically
But yes, we'll be there Wednesday and Friday pouring wine.
well, I look forward to seeing you guys tonight. You were going to save me a good table. I don't care how good it is. I just want it to be a warm table.
It will be.
So that should be fun. I wanted to share my screen for just a minute, if I can.
You should be able to.
Let me go down here. Okay. I wanted to show a few photos here of the, is my screen sharing?
Looks like it's starting to. Yep.
There it is.
Is there a lot of gobbledygook on there, or is there?
Looks good. Pictures of people in citrus and apple.
Okay, there we are. All right, so this is our food distribution a couple weeks ago at Corazon. And I can you believe all this food? And this is just one day. And there's Andy and Dan and Larry and I, but they had so much food and people were lined up for 2 hours on this morning. It was, and so this is every Tuesday. And I just wanted to let everybody know, if you have a couple hours on Tuesday mornings from 10 to 12 or 9 to 12, they really need help. This was a huge production. So I just wanted to share that with you and thank our members who came out that day to help distribute food. Also, this is a shot of the Interact Club putting together the bags for the homeless. As Andy mentioned or last week they put together 85 bags of food and supplies to the homeless. But these kids came out masked up. I should have taken some toilet paper. I went to Costco last week. It's gone again. Everybody's hoarding their darn toilet paper.
It's happening again.
Same in LA, I'm guessing.
Oh yeah.
And anyway, I just wanted to show you guys the kids doing their thing here at Andy's office. So that was wonderful. And Will Seppi. Will is not here today, but Chris Call sent me an email showing that Will is featured in the North Bay Business Journal, a very cute interview of Will. And his sense of humor comes out even in the article. So if you get a chance to look at the North Bay Business Journal, I would, in normal times we would find Will, but Will does so much for the community between the needs program, which I know is still going on. So if you go in and you donate, they give bread away, as we all know. So I just wanted to share that, let everybody know about Will. And let's see what else. I kind of devoted today to doing recognitions because Colleen is gone. So I'm going to stop sharing right now. We're back. Okay. Edward, are you here? There you are. Edward, did somebody in your life have a birthday this week? Maybe yesterday?
Yes.
Do you want to expand on that?
Oh, yeah. Sue and her dad's birthday and her brother's birthday was the day before. So
Wow.
it was a big Volsky Zoom celebration.
Where is her father?
Down near Chino Hills.
Oh, okay. Well, I know that you have just harvested a lot of sunchokes, and I don't know that sunchokes can go into the farm cabinet auction, but is there something else that you have that you'd love to be recognized for that can go into that?
Yes, we're doing actually prototypes of hot sauces that have been actually pretty well received. And one of them is Habanero Persimmon hot sauce.
Great idea.
Okay, so
Yes.
that's going in the farm stand auction booth.
Yeah, and actually Dragonfly Farms is doing the hot sauces there. So I'll throw in, there's Soray that Bonnie's doing right now. So I'll throw in some of those persimmon hot sauces.
Wow. So can we buy them from you or do we get them at Dragonfly Farms?
You can get them from us or Dragonfly. They have the red ones right now. I've been working with, I'm trying to get him to speak, but Rick Goldberg with Wild Brine in Windsor. He does the sauerkraut and the pickles. He's a friend of mine. Our sons are big buddies from Cardinal Newman. So he was kind of suggesting, giving me some tips on how to do this.
Okay.
Here's the interesting thing too on this type of hot sauce we've been doing. It's fermented. And like a lot of the ones you get on the market, it's just hot. This one's fermented for about a month. And it gives some sort of a different flavor and complexity to what's inside. So during pandemic, you have some ranches, you try to be creative besides doing normal work. So yes, when do you want me to bring them over to Nancy?
Well, I can come by. Is it on the farm stand? Is it on the little stand there?
Those aren't. Those are pretty much boxed up, and just waiting.
Okay,
right.
well, I'll be in touch with you. My son I'd love to get some of that. That sounds great.
And
right.
thank you too for being very good with the dog.
Oh,
Grover, yes.
he was growling at me, but I think the smell of my dog overwhelmed him. So he didn't bite me. He was this beautiful dog. So also we have some other, thank you, Edward. Other birthdays, Bob Mosby, you had a birthday on December 4th. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Yes, indeed, I did. And the week prior to that, I had an anniversary. So it was a big week, but not a lot of celebrating because of the times. But yes, those two events occur quite close together in my life. So I'll donate $100 to the general fund.
Holy cow, thank you. Yeah, you and Jean celebrating on the 29th of November.
Correct, we did.
And you just barely crossed over the 40. You and Jack Benny are probably still celebrating the same.
That's
birthday.
right. That's right.
How many, I guess Ryan, you probably don't know about the Jack Benny.
Yeah, the Jack Benny joke? No.
About his birthday?
But no, I don't. What is that?
Well, he was always 39 years old, right?
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Like
Correct.
me. I am too.
And he died at 39 years old. That was like the big headline. It's an old person's joke. So we need younger people in the club to.
I can definitely see the rationale.
Right.
Okay,
We
great.
show our age, knowing that.
It was a quiz. Sean Shields also had a birthday on December 4th. But Sean is not here today for obvious reasons. Partner birthdays, Barbara Mills. She and Larry are off in the Palm Desert, actually. They're celebrating her birthday in Palm Springs area. And so that's why they're not here. And Mark.
It's beautiful here. I can attest to the fact they're probably having a lovely time. It's great. This is where I am now.
Right. It's like about 80 degrees, 75.
It's still swimming weather.
I know. It's beautiful down there this time of year. Now, Mark Bisignani, where are you? You and Dan had it's today. You're muted, Mark. You're muted.
Thank you.
Happy anniversary.
We sort of have an anniversary today. When Dan and I first came to Healdsburg 5 years ago, we were not married. And when we joined Rotary a couple of years ago, we still were not married. And someone asked for an anniversary. I put down December 9th because that was our first official date together. But then we got married and our actual anniversary is June 30th. But yeah, this is like our 14th anniversary. We've known each other 14 years and we were friends for about 5 years and we had our first date on this day in 2011. So
Congratulations.
Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying that sometimes the day you meet or the get together is the important anniversary.
Yeah, exactly. So I will make a contribution to the club.
Thank you. Well, and we're so happy that you have all these anniversary dates. Yeah. Give Dan a hug, will you please? Is he right there? Is he hiding?
He's down the hall working in his office right now.
Okay. Well, thank you. I wanted to also mention that Edward, back again, the dugout seats. Edward happened to be down at Foss Creek running Kenai on the field and noticed that the dugout seats needed some love. And you got some folks together to help get that going?
Lee said he would swing by and contact me, and I was looking through one of the barns and there's some materials there. I don't know if we need to, probably need to contact the city and just say, listen, this needs to be done, and they'll probably say okay. And you sent an email, or actually Richard did, on some parts there, but I looked at it a lot more, and it's not going to take too long. We just need some brackets and some 2x6s and some carriage bolts.
Okay, well, I know Richard's willing to help, and he's got some of the stuff that you might need. So thank you for noticing that. Those are the kind of community projects that can make a difference. So I appreciate that, Edward. Just one last thing, you know, in normal times when we would meet in person, people would go on trips, and then they would come back and bring the president presents. I have been in this office
That's not fair.
for 6 months. I have not gotten one present. However,
You got gypped.
Bummer.
Colleen, our beloved Colleen, who is moving to Gig Harbor, as you know, she offloaded some of her presents to me. I'm not sure what to do with these yet. She gave me a golf ball from Brazil, and her gift, her Windsor Golf Club money card for the driving range. I might auction these off, or I may keep them. I'm just showing you to give you, you know, like a taste of what's in our future. Okay, she also,
you never do know what to do with the gifts you get when people bring them back.
one year Pam gave them away, or made us buy them from her. Colleen gave me 3 bottles of shrub from the shed, but I was looking at them, and one of them has been already dipped into, so I'm kind of annoyed about that.
It could be dehydration or evaporation.
Right. The one that, yeah, anyway, she's already, I don't even know what a shrub is, but I have to go and figure that out. Now, the one that I know you will all be coveting is this bottle of tequila in a gun,
That's very
in a pistol.
aggressive.
Yeah, to me, this is the winner. So this is like the preview of the auction. And I just wanted to give you all a little heads up as to what's in your future.
Is that where the term shots comes from?
Oh,
Very good, very good.
That stuff can kill you.
yeah, I'm gonna have to check to see if this has been opened yet, but I just love this. Anyway, all right, enough of this silliness. I think it's time to introduce Ryan Miller, our guest speaker. So Edward, would you please do the honors? You've been very patient, Ryan, sitting through our silly meeting this morning. Thank you.
Loving it.
All right, today's speaker is Ryan Miller. He's down in Southern California, and he created an internet site called GoGalora, which is a homegrown sharing process online that connects people rather than agricultural communities, but more in the suburbs, to sell, trade, give, exchange, you know, homemade crafts, food, trade peaches, avocados, and build relationships in a community. It's similar to what Crop Mobster was like, but it's different in the sense that it's like people will make enchiladas, or they'll make cookies and things like that. And it has a really interesting website, and it's free. So it's an interesting concept, and I thought that we would like to hear more about it. So Ryan, go ahead and tell more about it.
Thank you very much for that incredibly eloquent and detailed introduction. You've taken all of my prepared points and done a wonderful job. And coming from you, it means a lot. So hi, everyone. I'm really happy to be here. I'm incredibly inspired by what I've seen so far. The giving and the collaboration is really a lot behind the mission of what GoGalora is about. As Ed alluded to, it's a community website that encourages sharing, reduces waste, and connects people, right? So I don't want to overcomplicate it. I was originally going to ask everybody who grows something and who makes crafts, and I can already tell that everybody, and that's beautiful. And I think I'm definitely in the right place at the right time. So it's a simple concept. It's doing quite well in our key cities of Los Angeles, San Francisco, and Seattle. The idea is to basically make a Healdsburg out of the big cities, where people with excess crops in their yards will do something good with them, right? Instead of letting them spoil. So if anybody has been to Southern California, I'm sure you all have, and driving through Los Angeles or San Diego, it's basically a big orchard, kind of like what you guys have. Except we have, oranges and avocados and lemons, persimmons and loquats and papayas. It's really incredible, and year round. It's quite mature, so I won't speak to agricultural points. I know I'm definitely out experienced here, but the trees have been around for a long time, so they are big and bountiful, and much more is produced on a single person's backyard than 5 households could consume. But people are busy in cities, as we know, and so a lot of the time this food just spoils. Hundreds of avocados on a single tree will drop to the ground, and because they don't have a good way to share it, or the community spirit that is obviously alive and well in Healdsburg and elsewhere, people just sort of let it go. But yet we have millions of hungry people. 2 million in Los Angeles alone, 46 million people in the United States, and millions of pounds of fruit is rotting in our backyards every day, every year. So my site is basically a solution to the problem I had personally. I grew up in a house with an abundance of everything. I started talking to people in my community, and they echoed back to me that this was also a problem for them. Either they had too much fruit and didn't know what to do with it. They were feeling guilty that it was spoiling, or they were on the other side. They were just a normal resident, perhaps an apartment dweller, walking past these trees and feeling terrible. They wish they could grab one. Maybe they did sometimes. Feeling a certain degree of animosity against the tree owner who's hoarding all this incredible nutrition when they yet, can't afford to put food on the table. So my site was to try to democratize and connect and make it okay to ask and make it okay to give and make it easy to do that. So it's quite simple. I started it out with fruits and vegetables, and people became incredibly creative, and in a short time started sharing, like Ed alluded to, home-baked sourdough and home-baked challah bread and egg rolls and homemade Indian food, and then homemade face masks. And people started offering yoga lessons and music classes and help with homework and help with going to the grocery store for those people that needed it. So I think it's inherently representative of human nature that if you give them a tool that they could use to help themselves and others, they will. And it's been, I'm on cloud 9 because it's far beyond what I had ever anticipated. So I would very much like to give this tool. It's a free tool to be promoted inside of Healdsburg and in other Rotaries, if there's a way to connect the concept so that the champions of community as yourselves would be the spokespersons, the conduit to get this free tool into the hands of those who have too much food and those who don't have enough. And we have, that's American society, right? These people living right next door to each other within miles. In Los Angeles, it's incredibly clear. You know, Beverly Hills is 3 miles away from Compton, you know, where people don't have any good grocery stores. They just have liquor stores and marijuana dispensaries, and it's no fault of their own. The supermarkets don't see, you know, impoverished ethnic communities as having enough money to justify putting a grocery store in there. So, you know, it's a sad thing. However, even in those neighborhoods, we have this fruit problem, right? So even in Compton, even in South Inglewood, even in South LA, the trees are there and the food is right next door. So the neighborhood marketplace needs to be opened up. People need to be connected to each other. And my last point will be that it's not just about food. When people meet to give away something to someone that needs it, or to trade for something that they made with their hands for something that they grew in their yard, it's not a Craigslist exchange. It's not an Amazon exchange. People talk. And they meet, and therefore they see each other as friends, and they're more likely to help each other again, to inquire about the other's health later, and of course, to then do something good for someone else in return. So that's what we're seeing. And I've created a little landing page for Healdsburg, just to give you a quick look of what all of this abstract thinking actually looks like. Let me know if you can see. Can you see a green page?
Yep, I can see it.
Fantastic. Okay, so this is a little landing page that I made for you. You can easily spread this in your community. You have your own link. And so how it works is that you just simply, you can trade, sell, or share anything that is homegrown or homemade. You look around you, you simply click on your address. I'm going to enter Los Angeles here because obviously it's where we'll see the most supply, and you click search. It'll take you to a map, which will show you all of the things that are being shared in Los Angeles. So this is a city of 30 million people who are different in every possible way. However, they are already sending messages to one another and offering each other things in exchange and to connect. Here we have someone giving away lemons, interested in your bread and fruits. So you can write to Mila here and say, I make bread, I would love some lemons. Or I don't bake anything, how much can I buy some lemons for? Or would you be willing to give some away for free? And Mila would be happy to receive that message and she'll respond to you. Somebody else, also lemons, E-green. And so these are all different locations in the city of LA. Somebody has baked goods, ferments. This looks like something something Mr. McCutcheon might offer. Ferments and pickles, superfoods, herbal medicines. She's willing to trade. She's willing to sell it, and she's willing to give it away for free. So this person has, because probably of their socioeconomic status, if you want to give her $3 for a bag of peaches, she'll say sure. If you say, I'd like to give you a loaf of, or a bag of my avocados for some peaches, she'll say sure. If you say, I can't afford either, she'll probably say sure. And that's what our website does. We have people offering bread, scented candles, somebody's making homemade decorated sugar cookies, organic elderberry syrups. So this is, as you can see, we have lemons and citrus and people offering help to one another and mint. And let's just see one of these, for example, one of these listings looks like. It has gone way beyond, belly dancing classes. So if you have a bag of avocado and you just like to have a little practice of belly dancing, you can do that on somebody's lawn, meet a person, make a friend. So this is what a listing looks like. I have avocados, limes, lemongrass, and lettuce for trade or sale. I love me some sweet mandarins and oranges. So she's saying, if you've got that, I'm definitely going to pay attention, but you can offer me anything else you want. If you want to send a direct message to Maria, you click that button there and you have a little pop-up message and you can say, hi, Maria. And you already know where she is because you saw it on the map.
You already know what she's offering. You already know what she's interested in, and the site was free to use. So that is the essence of the website that we have created. It is a neighborhood sharing site. We are trying to make friends. We are trying to connect people. We are trying to reduce waste. And the response has been insanely positive, as I hope it is with you when you listen to me talk. I built this because I felt bad about waste. I started talking to people about it. These are perfect strangers. These are not manicured in any way. Thank you so much for posting this. I was actually wanting to do something the other day to put me in touch with local farmers. I'll check this out. Someone says, at last, I've been urban foraging for a number of years, but rather not have the guilty conscience of pilfering persimmons and pomegranates unseen. We have lots of oranges, lemons, and tangerines and kale. We need to develop a visual guide like this map. For years, I thought what I saw were quince when they turned out to be guavas. So overall, people are saying, wow, yes, we need this, and thank you for making it. The site is free and will remain free for connecting and bringing people together. Did I just turn off the screen share?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
good. Great. So that's it. The big news is that tomorrow we are going to be interviewed by Y Combinator. If nobody knows what that is, it's a Silicon Valley accelerator who launched Airbnb, Reddit, Quora, Dropbox, because they see the global implications of a site like this. So it is a huge opportunity to get this powerful tool into the hands of millions of people to reduce waste, strengthen communities, and monetize excess. You can have a person living on poverty wages or unemployed or elderly, but they have $2,000 worth of avocados growing on their lawn. That money can buy medicine. That money can make the difference of keeping the lights on. So I'm very excited about this. The site will always be free to trade, but it's giving people an opportunity to do something, to earn money, and to also connect with people around them. So thanks so much for your attention, and I'm open to questions and ideas.
That's incredible. I have a question right off the bat. What is your background?
My mother's Spanish, and I was born in Mexico, but I don't think that's what you meant.
I know Javier is that your middle name or your last name?
It's my middle name, yeah, Ryan Xavier. Yeah, so I actually come from a real estate background, but I grew up in LA, and I was very active in grassroots environmental projects. So it's always been an important thing for me. My business, it was travel related, and it died. In March, it was basically annihilated, something it took me 15 years to build. And it gave me some brain space to think about things that, mattered. And so I refocused my energies on this.
And this has only been in the works since March?
Yeah.
Wow.
I think the timing couldn't be more perfect. It certainly was relevant to me. I started out by picking as many lemons as I could for my tree, and it's got to be 1,000 lemons, a month during that season, and taking them in bags and dropping them off of my friends' porches and saying, I know you can't eat 50 bags of lemons, but do something with them because I have too much. So give them to your friends. So I started out trying to, share it. So that's how I thought maybe if there was an online way that I could take it to people who actually wanted them.
And how did it spread so quickly and diversely? The diversity is amazing.
I think human creativity is an unpredictable variable. I did not put a lot of restrictions on the site because it was quite simple in its design. You simply upload a picture of the thing you'd like to share and give it a title. And I didn't say it had to be this or it had to be that. All I said is that it should be homegrown, and people said, well,
if it's homemade, I guess it's homegrown. And then they started doing it, right? So yeah, human creativity. And it spread quickly. I think people want to tell other people. And in LA, it really is a veritable orchard of abundance. And I think there are a lot of people who were looking for a better way to share.
We've got a organization here in Healdsburg called the Gleaners, and it's very robust. I'd like to know how we could interface the site that you've given us with them, and I'd also like to know how you interface with Next Door Neighborhood.
Yeah, that's great questions. Thank you very much, Jay. With the Gleaner program, it's a wonderful thing. And what they're doing is they're going to people's homes and clearing the trees and taking it to food pantries and everything. But that's very logistically heavy. You need volunteers, you need a lot of organization. And this creates a platform that it's every day is gleaning day, right? Every single day is gleaning day and everyone is a gleaner. And 20 volunteers going to a certain number of houses on a certain number of days is going to do a wonderful amount of good. But to give the power to become a gleaner to everyone on earth will leave no fruit unpicked. So in terms of, that's how we differ. But in terms of how we collaborate, Jay, to answer your question, if your gleaning program could give this tool to those homeowners, they would be able to distribute more crop more continuously to more people overall. And there would probably still be enough for the gleaning programs to come on a certain day, collect a large amount, and distribute to food banks. In terms of Next Door, people are using Next Door for this purpose now, as many of you probably know. However, it is also a very messy website. There are people politicking and religioning and quarreling, and it's about the homeless problems, and it's a great community site, but it's also very confusing and convoluted. So our site tries to be one thing and one thing only. So if the way that we can piggyback upon or benefit from the kind of familiarity market penetration that Nextdoor has is that if everyone goes today to their Nextdoor account and posts, hey everyone, there's this new community sharing site, people recognize a good idea when they see it. So you will get likes, you will get comments, you will get questions because people say, oh, that makes sense. They won't say, okay, 1% will say we already do that on Nextdoor, but the other 99% will say, oh, yeah, that's way better.
So I'm wondering, obviously these things need to have some kind of a revenue stream to be self-supporting, and we want you to be around. So I'm an angel investor, so that's where my head goes. How do you monetize this?
Wow, great to talk to you, Lance. Yeah, okay, so tomorrow is our real big pitch to Y Combinator, and you already know them clearly. So the revenue angle is to charge a revenue share for those people who choose to sell. That's the simple platform. So those people who are have an abundance and are not interested in just giving away either because they can't afford to, or are not interested in trading because they are on a low carb diet and don't want anybody to bring them sourdough, or would just like to have all the options at play, as some of our listings do. They say, I will give it away for free, I will trade it, or I will sell it based on whatever the offer is. So it'll be a revenue share model. And if someone decides to sell a bag of avocados or homemade Persimmon chili spread, they will be able to do that on the website, through the site, and there'll be a small revenue capture coming from that. And we also hoped, which is originally what brought this thing, is to be able to also tie into local farms. So local farms like yourself, Lance, you're growing grapes, you have an excess, maybe you're looking to sell directly into the community. Our website would have the kind of user base that these people not only want a bottle of wine, or they not only want some grapes that they can use for their home brewing, Is brewing the right word?
Venting.
Okay, for home venting, but they would love to meet you, right? So you can order a bottle of wine from anywhere, all over. But to have the opportunity to to send Lance a message and say, I'd love to buy a couple bottles of your wine and a few of your grapes. When can I come by? And then you have that relationship. They're more likely to become ongoing customers, and they get the gratification of really knowing where their food comes from, which not so unusual for Healdsburg, I can see. But in LA, people really would like to know. And the value proposition is community connections and real person-to-person exchanges.
You have, obviously you need some internet access for this. How do you propose reaching people that don't have that may have greater need than those of us that have internet access and know what we want and want to trade?
I think that's a great question, Douglas. I think that that question would probably be more relevant in third world countries, which we do hope to help at some point in time. But I would say that even low income people have Facebook and a phone with data plans. And those people who don't, then I don't know. Unfortunately, this will be a web platform, and let's just say that that's the food bank option, right? And the wonderful organizations that Rotary is supporting for the food drives, there will always be a way to tap into human goodness.
Thank you.
When I left Los Angeles in 1976, I moved to Fortuna, California, and you're all going, what the heck is that? Where is that? The biggest joy was going out into my little front yard and finding berry bushes. In LA, where I grew up, there was nothing like that. And the joy of living in this community is that my neighbor grows persimmons, and I had tubs of persimmons. And to connect with this site is pretty impressive.
It's a wonderful experience. Thank you, Nancy. And I've had it. I started out just going to everybody's houses and everybody's knocking on all the doors and meeting people and being invited in. It was the best part of this whole pandemic.
Yeah.
I got bit by everybody's mosquitoes and I pet everybody's dogs. They invited me in. They let me taste their favorite fruit. And those people, I'm still connected to them because we connected on a non-commercial, direct one-on-one. I'm sharing my creativity. They're sharing something they grew. It creates a bond between people. And now I can call any of them at any time and ask them, what do you think of the website? Do you have new ideas for me? How can I make it better? And that's obviously from an entrepreneur's perspective, but I know it's happening on a user perspective as well. I see the messages sent between users, and somebody will say to them, oh, I'd really like to have another one of your wonderful galettes. Our family loved them. And she says, oh, I'm sorry, I can't make it right now because one of us was exposed to COVID and we're quarantining. And the other person says, oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. I hope you're all well. Let me know if I can bring you anything while you're in quarantine. This is not, happening on Amazon, right? It's beautiful.
Yeah. No, that's what struck me growing up in LA. If you saw somebody you knew at the grocery store, it was like a one-off. Like you never ran into your community because it was so big. And you've created something that is connecting people in a fabulous way. Warms my heart. We gleaned about 160 pounds of lemons off of our tree last year, and it's just one little tree. So I know that.
Yeah, that's $300, Nancy, and that could make or break it for a family that's struggling.
Yeah, and I know, Edward, the food insecurity is a big topic for him. He's very motivated by sites like yours, and I'm excited that you brought GoGalora to us, Edward. How did you guys connect?
Yeah, Ed, how did that happen?
I saw Ryan did a post on Crop Mobster, and I did legal work for Crop Mobster, and I was talking with Nick Papadopoulos about it, and then I went onto the Galora site, which I thought was very easy to use and interesting, and I actually am a member. It's good. It's mostly right now a Southern California site. It's a little bit in San Francisco, but it takes time, but it's only been going 6 months.
Yeah.
But it's the way you go on and find stuff is extremely user friendly. And then I got a big question answered by Ryan. We had about an hour phone call on a Sunday afternoon about how the site's maintained, which, you know, makes perfect sense. So I'm not going to say what he said. It's up to him, but, you know, it's smart. It's a smart way to do things.
How do you handle security?
In which regard, Jay?
Well, you get all kinds of stuff happening on Zoom with people busting in and inappropriate posts and that kind of stuff. Do you do any kind of monitoring or oversight?
Well, our website's, you know, in its infancy. This is a website that we threw together to try to solve a problem quickly. Our next version, after getting our first round of funding, will be incredibly robust and have all of the protections necessary to protect user privacy. We won't be selling any user data to anyone. Addresses are extremely private. I don't know if anyone's thinking that in the back of their heads. These things that you saw on our map are general, right? So within a couple miles of each other. So you're never going to have, you know, some strange person, you know, picking loquats at 7 a.m. outside your window. You know, that can only be arranged by a messaging and a scheduling, and when you'll arrange to either give that person your address because that's the way you want to do it, or to meet them somewhere else where you feel comfortable. So we give the users the control to protect their privacy, to make the connections that they want, and to divulge or not divulge their actual locations and names.
I know that it was a big problem on Craigslist, being able to keep that security going.
It's inevitable. You know, once you grow to scale and you have millions of users, there will always be miscreants, there will always be misuse. But we cannot let that hold us back from our driving mission of trying to connect people.
Do you find that there are problems with public health or food safety authorities with preparing food in your home and selling it directly from your home?
Yeah, it's a great question. Cottage industry laws have expanded dramatically in the last few years, just in time, I think, for COVID. And so it is legal to prepare foods for sale in CSAs, for sale in farmers markets, as well as directly to the user. From the platform's perspective, we don't have any kinds of guarantees or checks or liability in that regard. It is, you know, if you're going to go to somebody's house and they're going to give you homemade egg rolls, and see them face to face, there's a certain degree of humanity and accountability that is just built in to it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Well,
Great questions. Great questions.
Oh, yeah, we're all in this food thing. We all love locally well-made, grown products. So,
you know, and nothing is better than things made by our peers. You know, absolutely. We, you know, how many people here bake, and how many people here, you know, make cookies, and how many people make dresses for their granddaughters? You are all incredibly talented, and in different ways. You know, some of you are venture capitalists, and some of you are vintners, and some of you are musicians. all of that is incredibly valuable. You don't have to be a professional or have gone to a Juilliard to teach someone how to play the ukulele. And GoGalora lets you do that. So if you have a bag of avocados and somebody else is teaching a few chords on the guitar, that is a fair exchange, and each person gets to decide their own value.
Well, we should get our drummer Archie Julian, and is it, you play clarinet, right, Doug? Or yeah, I mean we do need to have a little concert here one of these days, so we'll maybe we'll put that on GoGalora. I really appreciate your taking the time to listen to our silliness and then present to us. And to thank you for your time. We're going to make a donation to our Polio Plus program in your name to help eradicate polio.
Thank you so much.
Just
Wonderful.
chipping away at that. So we really appreciate your taking the time, Ryan, and we will look forward to promoting GoGalora on our website and just opening it up to our communities. And we'll
Great.
let the other clubs know.
That's great. That would be awesome. It's the best way to share is by sharing. So, if you have the network of the Rotary that can be leaned on to move it from town to town, that's how we help people. Thank you very much for having me, Nancy. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. And Edward, for your continuing to get us some interesting presentations. Next week, our speaker is going to be Dr. Stan Jacobs, who is a plastic surgeon of all things, but he's going to be talking to us about a possible Rotary International project that we might be able to start from our own club, where he goes to other countries, primarily in Africa, to teach local citizens how to sew up a wound. And this procedure is so simple, but it can save body parts and prevent infections. So he's going to tell us his plan for doing that, and possibly we might want to participate in that, become an international project for our club. So with that, any other questions? If none, I will, Ted's shaking his head no, give me the thumbs up. Time to go and get another cup of coffee, right? Ted,
Good job. Good job.
You need to get your book on GoGalora.
Yes, I do. Yes.
All right. Well, everybody have a wonderful week, and I will look forward to seeing y'all next Wednesday. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you, Ryan. Bye-bye.
Thank you.